company, and don't forget to let friends and family members know about what we have going on here at Shop LC. If for whatever reason they're not connected to social media, they can always head to our website, shoplc.com. From there, as soon as you go to the website, I think on the bottom right-hand side of the screen, if I'm not mistaken, you'll see a little box with the live show going. So it's one of the best ways to shop. If not, we are live. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that good stuff. So make sure you are sharing, liking, doing that so that we can expand and hopefully let everybody know about the deals we feature here at Shop LC. Okay. So let me just say, this is actually one of my personal favorite gemstones in the whole wide world. I've never done a 2-hour event where I can feature just Tanzanite. And I would consider Tanzanite to actually be one of the most expensive gemstones on planet Earth, at least in my experience. And so after doing research, it's interesting because this morning I did a quick search online. And what I did was, and I'm hoping you do this too, I put in my search bar Tanzanite jewelry. And what I found was that we came up, Shop LC did come up, but other jewelry stores, brick and mortar stores, high-end luxury stores are featuring some of the same exact Tanzanite pieces that we get to air during this live show, and super expensive. So we're talking about Tanzanite being very, very, I mean, you can pay thousands of dollars price per carat depending on the size, depending on the color. And the great news is that here at Shop LC, if you didn't know, we've been manufacturing jewelry for 45 years plus. And so it's given us the advantage in the market today. We're the only home shopping network to actually manufacture jewelry. And so buckle up. You're going to get some really great deals. Shall we get the party started?
Buckle up.
Let's do it. Okay. So we are going to start with the prettiest design. By the way, shout out to DJ and Lauren. Lauren's one of our newest hosts here at Shop LC. You've probably seen her do some of the live shows. You'll be seeing her more throughout the rest of the year and hopefully on to the next year. So welcome to Lauren. She's here in the studio with us while I host this show. And hopefully those of you that have friends and family members maybe at home or just hanging out, you know, at work, they have some downtime. It is lunchtime for some people, especially on the West Coast. Let them know to tune in. So we're going to start off with a beautiful kind of fancy cut. Are we doing the bracelet first?
No.
Okay, so we're going to do a vermeil yellow gold over sterling silver ring that features Tanzanite. And I'm going to try to bring these in so you have a chance to actually see these. I don't know how close I can get and how focused the actual ring will be. But I will tell you this, if you head to our website or if you're watching us live, the number is going to be 101. Is that right, guys?
Yes.
Okay, so we're starting with 101. You're going to put, what is it? Is it that we put... Hashtag, what do we put? Just 101 or sold?
Sold 101.
Sold
Yeah,
101.
yeah.
I'll get this together. Listen, this is all new for me. So sold 101 is the number that you'll put if you're interested in this one. This is actually one of the prettiest designs we have here. And one of the things that I love, which we'll discuss, if you have an opportunity, again, shoot me a quick message. Let me know who's watching and if there's anything specific you want to get your hands on. Maybe there's an age range that you're focused on today. I'm a mom, and so as a mom, back in the day, I wasn't, you know, when my daughter was in high school or even junior high, I was not thinking about buying her Tanzanite. But I find since we've been in existence here at Shop LC, we make it super affordable for moms, dads, uncles, you know, grandmothers, grandfathers, everybody to actually be able to afford Tanzanite. So I want you to consider that for this during the show. This is a 1.7 carat Tanzanite ring. It's in the shape of a pear cut. I feel like these fancy cut gemstones tend to be super feminine, very glamorous. A lot of fashionistas gravitate towards this design. But another thing that I think you're going to love about this style of ring is the fact that you have all marquee cut gemstones in the setting here. $57.99 is what you're spending. And if I'm not mistaken, if you head to our website, we have a lot of other deals in terms of like clearance. How are we doing, DJ, with some of the sales? Have we already activated the sales during the live show?
Oh, yeah, all the sales are in.
Okay, so all the sales are loaded. $57.99 is your price today during the live. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I've actually seen this sell for $79.99. Today, we're talking $57.99. Now, let's go through the details here, right? If you want to know the gemstone carat weight, it is 1.7 carats, but I wanted to give you the size of the gems. You have 4x2 millimeter marquee cut gemstones. This makes a big difference in the world of gems. The fancier cuts tend to be a bit more expensive. Thank you, Stephanie. Stephanie, get me water. Every time somebody asks me for water, I'm like, no, don't get it, I'll get it. You know, I just hate people bringing me stuff, but mwah, I love you. But the marquee cuts tend to be pretty expensive. They're premium cut gemstones, whether it's a marquee, a trilliant cut, your heart cuts, all these fancy cuts that we feature here at Shop LC. The beauty of the entire kind of event, this event here, is that although they're fancier cuts, because we manufacture in-house, we give you guys a chance to take advantage of something that would otherwise be much more expensive. 30-day money-back guarantee, risk-free shopping, use the budget pay option. So in this case, $57.99. How many gemstones? So 37 points in the Tanzanite ovals. You do have 2 ovals. You have 37 points in some marquee cuts. So there's a combination of cuts here. And then when it comes to the actual sizes, we have different sizes that I'll kind of share with you: 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So you can really customize the size just by, deciding on which finger you want to wear it on, which hand you want to wear it on. I don't know about you, but during this time of year, I tend to go up in weight a little bit as we approach the holiday season, snacking on all kinds of junk, right? And then by the end of the year, my finger may go up a quarter of a size. So think about that. If you want to wear it on your index finger, if you're interested in wearing a ring like this on your middle finger. I love the elongated kind of point design, so that's really something that you can actually wear out or in. You've got some options once you get it home, but I think you're going to love this one. The budget pay is $14.50 per month, and if you're interested, all you have to do is choose that option. Remember, here at Shop LC, the beauty of budget pay is that you don't have to qualify. So there's no qualifying at all. All you have to do is head to our website, shoplc.com, which most of you are on. If not, if you're on Instagram or TikTok, keep in mind that you're going to go ahead and hit the word or type the word sold. 101 is the number. TikTok, there's an actual link on the bottom, right?
Yeah, they want to actually go to the link in the
bottom
page.
And that's TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get it together. We're working through this together. So TikTok, super easy. You'll click on the link at the bottom and that's going to take you to the item. You can take a closer look because I know with these live shows, they're a bit different. We don't have cameras and, all kinds of great lighting and different directions that we can come in on these pieces. So I'm going to try to work my way through each piece to give you enough information, but you have to check this stuff out, okay? Coming up next, we're going to go ahead and feature a vermeil yellow gold over sterling silver cross pendant that is perfection. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm a big collector of crosses and angels. And so when we started expanding our cross collection, I went absolutely bananas that we were adding Tanzanite into some of these cross pieces we were manufacturing. And the reason why I got pretty excited is because over the years, I've actually purchased quite a few crosses, and my mom has gotten me a few crosses too in the past as I was growing up. And I remember, and still today, if you get the jewelry mailers from certain designers, they will do 925 sterling silver crosses that are half this size with no Tanzanite in the setting for more than $70. This is a $70.39 cross that is, isn't that pretty? The size of it, just right. I will measure it here in just a moment. But the Tanzanite, the amount of Tanzanite that you're actually getting for $70, you know what it's like? It's like you not having to pay for the Tanzanite. You're simply paying for the cross. You know what I'm saying? I mean, $70 is not a lot of money. And, okay, let me take that back. $70 could be a lot of money. But what I'm saying is, because I know some of you are like, I can't believe you, Jessica, said 70 is not a lot of money. That's not what I'm saying. I'm simply stating that when it comes to Tanzanite, when you compare, the price points on certain gemstones, especially this one, you tend to see outrageous prices for Tanzanite. And so if you are on a budget, $14.08 is your budget pay option, which I promise you, anytime I shop here, if the budget pay is available, I'm on it. Because I'm one of these people that throughout the years I've had, they say, champagne taste, but beer money, that's me all day. I'm a bargain shopper, and so throughout the years, and still today, I will look around to see what other people have available, just in case I can get it at a better price point, because they say at the end of the day, it's not about how much you make, but how much you keep. So I'm a frugal gal, and I'm sure all of you are too. So this is your cross. Okay, and let me get you the measurement. This is nearly 2 inches from top to bottom, and this is what I'm talking about. If you own crosses or you've seen crosses out there in the market today, sometimes they're 925 sterling silver, sometimes they're half an inch, sometimes you've got crosses that come in at 3/4 of an inch. So just so you know, measuring at just over an inch across, and then in height with the bail, you're right at 2 inches. In addition to that, though, you get the 20-inch vermeil yellow gold over sterling silver chain. So it's ready to wear. And I'm thinking as we approach the holiday season, I find that those of us who do collect crosses and love crosses, right, the most recognized sign of faith in the world, a lot of people gravitate towards the cross, whether or not, you kind of cling to it for hope, or, it reminds you of, Jesus' sacrifice. And I think a lot of people, like for me over the years, I've had a few people who have lost loved ones. And so to pay homage and celebrate them and keep them close to them, I've purchased crosses. Some people use crosses on their rear view mirror. I mean, loads of, people who actually use crosses for different reasons. And so if that's the case, first of all, I'm sure you're probably excited because, again, this is all Tanzanite. 3.25 carats of Tanzanite, $70.39. Let's talk about how many gemstones here real quick. This is definitely one of the most captivating designs we have in stock. Sometimes with other designs of crosses, we may not necessarily use these fancy cuts. So here you have lots of pear cut gemstones, 24 of them coming in at 2.9 carats. Each of your gems are 4 by 2 millimeters, so we're not talking about anything small. Like if you 8, or maybe I would say all the way up to maybe a 1 millimeter round cut. They tend to be a little bit smaller, but in this case, it's not. It's not at all. I mean, this beautiful work of art to wear. Again, vermeil yellow gold over sterling. I wanted to flip it around because you have to see what the artisans in our facilities, what they do even on the back end. Sometimes with crosses, I actually, when we first launched the network and we started introducing these beautiful kind of silver pieces of jewelry, one of the things that I do is compare some of my old school pieces to what, we do here at Shop LC. And it always excites me to see that the design team, they go above and beyond. I mean, we're not talking about just the gemstones in the front, fancy cut, something like Tanzanite, the African treasure discovered in 1967, found in the foothills of Mount Kilimanjaro. One place in the world is where this gemstone is discovered. So it's not just about the Tanzanite and how they place them, it's also about the finish on the back end. So when you go to our website, 102, Shop 102 is what you'll put on Facebook. Sold. Good night. Somebody write that down for me. I'm gonna get that. Sold is the word that you're going to use, 102. And then those of you shopping on TikTok, you have to do...
It's sold 103 only because I messed up. So it's sold 103.
DJ got me. Okay, so sold 103 for that cross pendant, just so you know. If you're looking for it, I always suggest this, though, because one of the easiest ways to shop with us is while you're on our website. Again, if you are using social media, we appreciate it. That platform we're trying to expand as much as possible. So again, don't forget to like us on Facebook, Instagram. Don't forget to share the page. And don't forget on TikTok, when you're shopping, all you have to do is click on the link at the bottom. When you're on Instagram, you're going to put the number 3, although this is our second item for the live stream. 101 is going to be the fancy pear cut, and these coordinate beautifully, actually. Let me bring both of these up. When you go to our website and you check these items out, I know you're probably not able to see them as good as I'd like you to, but once you're on our website, that's why I keep encouraging you to go to our website. You can actually take a closer look at each item. I mean, you can literally zoom in, you can see the back, you can see the bail, you can see all the stats, the details, what it comes with, the final price, your budget pay option, which I always recommend you take advantage of. These are fantastic deals, and I think as I continue to move throughout the show, you're more than likely going to want more than one piece. Uno nada más. Not going to happen. You're probably going to love everything. Talk to me, DJ. Good?
Oh, yeah, we're good.
Okay.
I was yawning.
So now we're on sold 104. He said it was yawning during my show.
No.
Sheesh. I'm teasing him. Okay, so sold 104 is the next item. We have this beautiful, spotted it, I think. Let me make sure I have it. Yes, this is it. Oh my gosh, this is one of those windmill designs. I'm telling you, our artisans that are involved in manufacturing this jewelry, good night. Amazing. Okay, wait, we've got some people. Choctaw is joining. Miss Gorgeous, La Vinyl Doll, good night. You all have some fancy handle names. I love that. Fregos is joining. Sago Tens TV is watching. Welcome to Shop LC's live stream. I am Jessica hanging out with you. Next piece, look, $47.99. Let's talk about this. We call it the spray ring. It's a fancy name, right? The spray ring because of how the gemstones are actually set here. It amazes me. Look at that. So you have Tanzanites that are all marquee cut, except for the center one. Now, we only have this one in 2 sizes. This one's close to being sold out. It's a 5-star rated Tanzanite floral ring. I would consider this to be, again, windmill. Because when you think about a windmill, you think about something spinning. You know, when you have one of those windmills that spin, you know, in the wind. We know, right? We're all in the same. Anyways, the way they designed this is if it's in a spin motion because of the cut of the gemstones. But I think what you'll love most about the actual design itself, one of the things that we specialize in our manufacturing facility is penrhodium. So penrhodium is where the artisans go in and by hand, they finish the prongs off or sometimes the filigree work off with yellow gold, rose gold, or even like a darker rhodium, like a platinum color. And so this one is finished. Hold on, let me move this ring. I don't want anything distracting. So this one is the darker rhodium finish. Every single prong is finished with this kind of platinum color to create contrast in the setting itself. But this one is serious because $47.99 is actually going to be for 4.85 carats. So the carat weight on this one is significantly higher. DJ, I would expect that this one was marked down. I mean, I've actually seen Tanzanite rings like this sell for $129.99. In some cases, we'll mark them down to $99.99. Today, it's $47.99. And I'm expecting the reason is because we only have it in 2 sizes. So if you're interested in a clearance price, we have kicked off our fall clearance event. This is huge. Even during the live shows, we are discounting pieces unlike anything I've seen before. They actually called us into a meeting yesterday and they said, look, you better let people know this is serious. Anytime we have clearances here, literally all of the people that work here are shopping behind the scenes as well. I mean, it gets ridiculously out of control. We're talking about nearly 5 carats of Tanzanite for $47.99. The setting is 925 sterling silver. The finish is platinum over top of it. Most of the time when we have a sterling silver setting, we put platinum over top of it for longevity. Obviously, we all know that platinum is the heaviest metal. It's hypoallergenic. It's going to last you a lifetime. So in our facilities, we like to take the extra steps to ensure that your jewelry is going to last you a long time. It's comfortable. Even with our silver pieces, silver is nickel free. And nickel tends to be something that a lot of us have allergic reactions to. You don't have to be concerned about that. We do exclude the nickel so that the silver can be nicely polished. The platinum is put over top of it, and voila, you have this beautiful piece of jewelry that's going to last you a lifetime. Okay, $12 per month. Again, budget pay, budget pay, budget pay. I'm encouraging you. Hey, Courtney. Courtney's out there. So I'm encouraging you to take advantage of budget pay because budget pay is a way for you to save money. You know, as we approach the holiday season, I'll be honest with you, in the past, I find or have found myself spending way too much money right around the month of November, December, and then going into the new year, you have all this credit card debt or all this money that you ended up spending because you're in the giving mood. It's the holiday season. You're starting to think about, you know, maybe a cousin you didn't see that might be coming to visit. You're going to run into your auntie who you want to give a gift to. Maybe it's your daughter who's coming home. She's spending time, you know, for the holiday season and you want to spoil her. All these people that we probably want to give something special to. Well, if you shop with us on a regular basis, you know that budget pay is, I mean, it's just a tool that you can use so you don't have to put out all that money. $12 for this $47.99 cocktail design, Tanzanite. And you don't have to pay the next $12 or the next $12 payment is not due until this time next month. The beautiful thing about that is the fact that you have a 30-day money-back guarantee, right? Anything that you're purchasing during the live show, you will have. Well, are we doing the 30-day for the live? Okay, just making sure, because I know sometimes with our clearance event, we do all sales are final. So I just want to make sure during the live show. So we have confirmed you do have the 30-day money-back guarantee. Let's go ahead and move on. $47.99. I mean, either you're in or out. 4.85 carats. How could you go wrong? Now, we do have a matching pendant to go with it, okay? So this is going to be the exact style of kind of floral windmill design that you saw in the ring. Same exact detail. So if you wanted to get a matching piece of jewelry, $47.99 for this one, $12 budget pay. You know what that means. $25, really $24, but we're going to round up because it's 90. It's probably like, a round up there. So I'm going to say $25 will get you the matching pieces if you use budget pay. Some of you are saying, Jessica, you're not doing your math right. I always do my math based on budget pay. I don't think about anything else aside from budget pay. And the reason why is because everybody qualifies for budget pay. No credit check, no interest payments. All you have to do is decide on whether or not you want to make the full payment up front of $47.99, or would you prefer making the $12 payment? I mean, you have a chance to actually get these items shipped out 5 to 7 business days. You'll have them in your possession. You get to feel them, touch them, see them, maybe even present them to a loved one. If they don't love it, you can always send it back. So that's a really big deal for myself and all my family members. I'm always encouraging that. I hope that you do the same. And don't forget, if you're watching on the live stream, Facebook, Instagram, if you're interested in any of these items, this is going to be sold 105. So sold 105. And then obviously if you're on TikTok, all you have to do is click on the link below and that'll take you to the items that we're airing. But more importantly, I want to remind you, as you're on our website, don't forget to look for other items that you might be interested in. I know that the live is going. We have a lot of really great values on our website. So if you wanted some bed sheets, if you wanted, home decor, ladies, if you're interested in handbags, or gentlemen, you're looking for a fabulous handbag for your sweetie pie, we have my favorite collection, which is the Grand Pele collection. It's our exotic skin handbag collection, real exotic skins. So crocodile we have, python we have, ostrich we have. So all these different exotic skin handbags that would cost you $3,000, $4,000. You know what I'm talking about. Very expensive. We have those on our website, so you may want to check that out, okay? With that said, let me hold this one up, and then I want to get it measured, and we'll move on. This one does come with the chain. It's ready to wear. I forgot I had this necklace on. I love how heavy the chains are, right? We're talking about not the average size chain, at least from my experience. What I've seen in the past, when I used to buy pendants elsewhere, now of course that I'm here at Shop LC, I don't shop anywhere else. Unless of course it's something that we don't carry, which almost never happens. I mean, we not only carry the everyday stuff like CZs and silver tone and costume jewelry, but we also carry our own collection of 10K, 14K, which is Luxoro. We have our Ileana, that's 18K, yellow gold, rose gold, and white gold. And then we also have our Rhapsody collection, okay? These are all different types of collections. Well, what I've seen when I've purchased pendants in the past is that a lot of these pendants actually come with maybe 16, 17, 18-inch chains, which we have every now and again. But these days, our design team, we've been putting, with a lot of these pendants, upgraded chains, which are 20 inches, box style. I mean, look at the clasp on that. That's a lobster claw clasp that's giant. The chain itself, don't be afraid to take the chain off the setting, because what I find is depending on the length of the chain, it really makes a difference with an outfit that you're wearing, right? For instance, this necklace that I'm wearing, the only reason why it's actually sitting the way that it is because we have an extender on the back. Back in the day, it's funny, little tidbit. When we first launched the network, we always used to have these kind of round table meetings with the host and production, and marketing and everybody else, just to kind of discuss with the design team what, we thought should happen moving forward since we were expanding, right? And so I kid you not, probably 20 to 25 times I would raise my hand and be like, ooh, 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 every time. Everybody knew what I was going to say. I'd say, why don't we add extenders on the back? Because if you have a chain that's only 16 inches or 17 inches, it kind of locks you in. If you're wearing a scoop neck, like today I'm wearing a tank top, but if the neckline comes up a bit higher, right, and I don't have an extender, then there's a good chance that I won't wear that piece of jewelry. Or if, say you have a V neckline and the V neckline doesn't come down as far as you want it to, well, depending on the length of the chain, it won't work out. So anyways, I'm saying that because the necklace that I'm wearing has an extender. This one is upgraded. So the upgrade is the 20 inches. And I like to remind people, because sometimes when we get pieces home, we forget that we have chains that we can use with other pieces in our collection. So maybe you have like a beautiful name chain or a cross pendant or a little initial pendant that came with the chain. And every time you put it around your neckline, it just, it doesn't sit well. Keep in mind that you have that 20 inch coming home to you with lots of Tanzanite in the setting. This is 4.25 carats of Tanzanite. And if you're wondering, it's the same exact cut as I mentioned just a few minutes ago as the cluster. And we're talking $12 per month. Let me quickly share with you how many gemstones are in this setting. And then we'll move on, because I know I've been on this and going off on a tangent. It happens on the live stream. It does. So the amount of gemstones here, you have 48 Tanzanite pieces, which is a significant amount of Tanzanite. When we talk about Tanzanite, so Tanzanite, as I mentioned a little bit ago, and I think it's worth re-mentioning, Tanzanite is actually named after where it was first discovered. So this one, $47.99. $12 per month. DJ, before I go off on a tangent, we can go to the next one. Okay. Lock in, get that one. But I wanted to share with you Tanzanite, if you didn't know, because sometimes we hear about Tanzanite, but you don't necessarily know anything about it. You know it's rare, you know it's blue, you know it's expensive, but where does it come from? How did it come about? So it was discovered in 1967, found in the foothills of Mount Kilimanjaro. It's Tanzania, Africa. Right, so this is where it gets its unique name from. The first people to put it out was Tiffany and Company. They were the first to introduce Tanzanite in the world in a beautiful trilliant cut, and since then it's been a huge hit. Oh my gosh, these earrings! So
it says sold out on the website.
They're
That's
sold
not
out?
True.
Okay,
No,
not true.
We do have at least 20 of them.
Okay, so how do they get them? They'll be able to lock in?
Yes.
Okay,
and if they have any issues, I'll put in the personal shopper number.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're airing we know a lot of you are going to want these. How could you not? Talk about dramatic, dangle style, fashionable, fabulous Tanzanite earrings. So with Tanzanite, what I was sharing with you is that when it hit the world market, it was over. I mean, everybody wanted to get their hands on Tanzanite, but obviously the company I just mentioned, if you know anything about them, Blue Bag, Blue Box store, you know that it's very pricey to get anything from their stores. And so a lot of people were, kind of priced out. I know I was. I never had Tanzanite until my life here at Shop LC. $97.99. DJ mentioned that what was on our website, it does say sold out. You shouldn't have a hard time getting in, but if for whatever reason, as we're airing these, you do, our personal shopper number is 877-899-0490. 877-899-0490. We're going to put that in the information box for you so that you can contact them. I would suggest you take down this item number, 748-4926. Again, 748-4926. And if for whatever reason, I know I'm running through this information pretty quickly, as the auction is running right now, the item number is above the word Tanzanite dangle earrings in platinum. That item number is located right above that. So you'll be able to kind of either write it down or maybe copy and paste it into a notes page on your cell phone. I always use my notes for everything because I forget everything. So yeah, that's a way to do that. Real quick, I did mention, and I think I did this, but I want to make sure. I think I remember measuring the cross, but not the pendant. The pendant, just for your information, is 1.5 inches from bail to bottom. Okay, so the pendant is 1.5 inches. That's the cocktail cluster pendant we just aired. The earrings in are about 1.5 inches, not quite, but just about, just under an inch. And the good news is, as you're watching on the live stream, you can actually get the information by putting the word sold 107.
6.
Ooh, I was close. 106. 106 will get you to this item, and you'll have the chance to actually take advantage of the item. And if for whatever reason, because this isn't, it's happened before. If for whatever reason you're not able to get the item, get with our personal shopper team, because we do have about 20 to 19 behind the scenes. And I want to make sure you guys have a chance to get these. These are gorgeous. Seriously. These look like they should be $800 plus, right? Anytime you see Tanzanite that's this much carat weight. We've gone from the 3 carats to the 4 carats, nearly 5 carats. These are 3.5 carats. Let me give you some stats here just so you know. Platinum over sterling silver as well. Your 3.5 carats is coming from all Tanzanite. Do we have the information?
Yeah.
The information here, just so I can give you, okay, here we go. So 1.45 carats in the pear cuts, okay? You have 4 of them. And then you have 4 additional ones that are 73 points. Here's the thing about this, and I think you're going to enjoy, and people that see you, they're really going to appreciate. So you have some really large pear cuts that will sit on the ear, and you have this articulated setting on the bottom. So if you love earrings that dangle, if you love sway, if you love lots of personality, or you have a big personality, sometimes it's nice to be able to rock earrings like this that frame the face beautifully. But more importantly, this style faces outwards. So when you walk into a room, the earrings have a presence to them, right? They're big, they're bold, they're beautiful, but yet they're elegant, they're classy. It's not like the big old hoops that I like to wear. I like to wear the old school door knocker hoops. I have them in huge sizes. That's just me. I'm an East Coast girl. But I also love to kind of tone it down a bit if I'm getting a bit more dressed up. Maybe my husband's taking me to a show, to dinner. I don't want to be as vocal with my jewelry, but still want to look, very elegant. This is the earring that I would wear. In fact, with what I'm wearing today, although, I have boots on, a pair of jeans, a cardigan, a tank top, you could easily take a pair of earrings or any of this stuff that we're featuring and wear it with a more casual outfit, but transform your look just by the accessories that you're wearing. I'm just saying. So Tanzanite is a really great way to go, right? And again, I want you to think about the holiday season. Whose birthday's coming up? These Tanzanite pieces are quite affordable. So if you're using the budget pay option, which I'm going to give you here in just a moment, the budget pay option makes it a bit more palatable in terms of the amount of money that you're spending, right? Tanzanite, again, you would imagine the Tanzanite to be expensive, not here at Shop LC. I also wanted to show you the disc back on the earring itself. Sometimes with earrings, they don't necessarily come with the right back. And what I mean by that is, how many times you purchase a pair of earrings that when you put the back on, it still hangs forward and it doesn't hang upright properly. It's a pain in the you-know-what. You're trying to find something better to hold it up. Never works. Well, that's another thing that we've requested over the years to ensure that, quality is right. Since we manufacture in-house, we've kind of made so many changes in terms of what we provide you with. So I was going off on a tangent on the extender, right, for the necklaces. Well, the disc backs are also important for our customers to know about. Everything that we send you is top-notch quality, and if for whatever reason you're not happy with it, you can send it back to us, okay? So the dangle style earrings, we said sold 106. Bingo. Okay, next. We're moving, guys. We're moving and shaking. We have, this is a pretty one. So we're going to do a 2-tone cluster cocktail style ring. Now, this isn't for the faint of hearts. This isn't like a little bitty ring at all. Big, bold, beautiful, chunky, very fashionable. And this actually shows you exactly what I was talking about when I mentioned the penrhodium. Remember, I was telling you that in our facilities, we actually do handwork with some of the gold or the rhodium finish. So the outside of the ring, the detail that you see there is called filigree. And filigree is a little more detail that they add into the design. So it's like artwork is the best way for me to describe filigree work. You know, they take the mold or the wax mold, because I'm not going to get too technical, but I'm serious. Here at Shop LC, because we manufacture in-house, all of us hosts have had an opportunity, well, not all of us because of COVID, some came after, and we haven't had a chance to travel to the manufacturing facilities to kind of film the behind the scenes, but I've actually gone into the facilities, and they start from that piece of paper where they draw it out, and then they have all these steps. You know, they have to create a mold, they have to create the wax mold, they have to, you know, put it into the actual kind of belt, where if we make maybe, you know, 70 of these, they all have to be manufactured. And then after they're manufactured, if the base metal is silver, we then go over it with platinum. If they decide to go with filigree work, two-tone finish, that detail where you see the vermeil, yellow, gold over sterling, is done by hand. It's done by hand. And so I've seen them use the little tools that are actually used to do this by hand, and I'm like, because I don't know about you, I can't stay still for more than like who knows how long. My husband always teases me, and you know, I'm just that kind of person. But to have the talent and the skill to really go in and fill in all the detail, not just all, it's not like they're filling it in and there are no spaces in between. What I mean by spaces is that when you see this setting in person, you're going to be impressed with how they're able to elevate the look by putting yellow gold in certain places, but not the entire thing, right? So something has yellow gold, and right above it, you'll see sterling silver finish. Thing will be outlined in a little bit of yellow gold just to kind of emphasize on that detail, but the rest of it will be sterling silver. And then of course, where you see sterling silver, most of these pieces have platinum over top of it. So there's a lot of workmanship that goes into what we do, a lot of time put into each piece. You guys have to understand, although you're only paying $79.99 for this one, it's worth a lot more than that. And that's one of the reasons why you see in everyday jewelry stores, if you find Tanzanite. These days, I mean, you can probably go online and put the word Tanzanite and then ring into your favorite search bar and see, you know, all these Tanzanite pieces pop up. But I'm telling you what, a piece like this that has 3.65 carats of Tanzanite with that two-tone finish is more than likely going to cost you about $279. I'm just saying. So, you know, whether or not you decide to get something like that outside of Shop LC, or if you decide to get it with us, know that the workmanship that goes on behind the scenes is next level. And the beauty of shopping with the manufacturer is that we usually present designs like this to retail stores, brick and mortar stores. Right now, you're buying directly from the manufacturer. So you're literally saving tons of money, right? All the workmanship and everything that goes in behind the scenes, it goes through us, and then we just offer it to you at the most affordable price point possible. So $79.99, $16 per month. We talked 3.65 carats of Tanzanite. We talked about the two-tone finish. I did want to measure the setting too, just in case you're curious to know. This is a bigger ring. This is a larger size ring. So this one is going to measure, and I'm sure you probably can't see this, but I want to look at it first before I say the measurement. So we're talking about 1 1/3 inches from top to bottom. You see that? I put the ruler next to it. Mm-hmm. So that, I mean, that is a pretty large ring. We're not talking about something that's simple or subtle. We're talking about a piece that's really, you know, going to stand out. And then also you have this, I don't know if I want to call it a star design or a floral design or even like a crown design on the top, but it's super unique. On the top and bottom, you have that additional detail that again elevates the look, and it takes it to an entirely new level. So for $79.99, you can't beat it. It's up for grabs. On our website, don't forget to use budget pay, budget pay, budget pay, budget pay. All you have to do is make that one-time payment of budget pay, no qualifying. And I mean, the rest is history. You know what? I had my coffee. Where did I set that down? Is there a blue cup over there? Yes. Thank you, Lauren. Okay, so thank you very much. I really appreciate you. So we have, I brewed a really special pot of coffee this morning, and I need some. Okay, so now we're moving into some of the necklaces that we feature. Is there anything I haven't covered? Let me see who's joining us. So let me see. Hot Tindia is watching. Hot Tindia, good to see you. Who else is watching? Do we have a few that came in? Susan, I think, is watching. Thank you, Susan, for joining in. Okay, so coming up, we have some necklaces, and this is where we take it to an entirely new level. I mean, not that we haven't already, right? Tanzanite pieces for less than $100. I mean, you can't beat it. So this is where we feature more of that kind of bigger, bolder, instead of it being a pendant, more of a necklace design, okay? With necklaces here at Shop LC, the difference between the two, I would say, is obviously with a pendant, you have a chain that goes through the bail. You can take the chain off most of the time, unless, of course, the ends of the chain are too wide, then it's there to stay. But most of the time, when you buy pendants from us, you can remove the chain. These are necklaces. The necklaces are designed with the chain incorporated into the actual neck piece. Does that make sense? So instead of there being a bail that you put the chain through, the actual necklace, the chain is attached to the top part of the necklace. So you're literally going to wrap it around the neckline and then adjust it as needed. We talked about extenders. This is where the extenders come into play. This is the big deal. So this necklace is designed with the perfect extender. Let me hold that up. We have it about midway on the extender. That extender, ladies and gentlemen, is about 2 inches. So you're going to have some playroom here to adjust as needed. And you know what I'll do? This one's $99.99, $20 budget pay option. I'm going to take this one off and switch them out. This is a big deal, isn't it? This thing is gorgeous. We have it coming up in just a few. I know a lot of you are patiently waiting for this one. We have that, the one I wore around my neckline, and then we have this one too that's going to be up for grabs. Pendant we still haven't done. A lot of good stuff to get to. We did the cross pendant. By the way, if you're tuning in now and you missed the first half of the show, it's okay. All you have to do is when you're on the live, you can see the recently, aired items. Is there a button, DJ, that they have to press to see some of the items I started off with, or will they be available?
On the website, all that I have to do, here, let me show you an example right now, actually.
Okay, so we're going to bring up the example now so you have a chance to see that. But here it is on the neckline, 2.8 carats, 2.8 carats, 18-inch with an extender. It is platinum over sterling, and I love the way this sits. It has almost like a ribbon effect on the top, and then you have that diamond-shaped setting where the Tanzanite is strategically placed, but really the Tanzanite is everywhere. Let's walk you through it so you see exactly what we're talking about. So right now we have the page up. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so this is it here. If you're interested in, some of the other items while you're watching, you're able to take a look and kind of go through each one. The numbers are there that are associated with the pieces. So if you're on Facebook or Instagram, you want to use the word sold and then the number that's associated with the piece in order to get to it. You can also click on it if you're on our website shopping, right? And then with TikTok is going to be more so, there'll be a link at the bottom of the screen, but you can also take a look at some of the other items that we've aired and kind of go from there and click on all the different links so you can take a closer look at some of those items we've been featuring. So just a heads up on that, okay? There's a closer look at the necklace. Let me move this to the side real quick because this is a really good shot of it. So it's in 925 sterling silver. As I mentioned, when I talk about ribbon-like effect, it has this kind of swirl effect where all those Tanzanites are. You have 17 Tanzanites that are round cut. You know what I haven't shared with you? I want to share with you some gram weight on some of these pieces. So we're going to go down a bit and get some gram weight here. So the metal...
I don't think it says the gram weight for this one.
This one doesn't say it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is a heavy necklace. And, we're not talking about like 2 grams. We're talking about 5 grams plus on the necklace. But the way it's designed, as I mentioned, you can put over top. So for me, as we approach the fall and the winter seasons, we start seeing that, a lot of us, we layer up, right? We don't necessarily have our necklines out as much. Some of us do, some of us don't. It depends on what you're wearing for the day. But I wanted to kind of remind you that these necklaces are designed to make an impact on the neckline, whether you have skin showing or not. So if you're wearing like a turtleneck or a sweater, you could still wear a beautiful necklace like this where it stands out and you get to see, that beautiful blue color of Tanzanite, show up perfectly in that platinum over sterling silver setting. So this is one of those that is, pretty stunning. 1.79 carats in the 3 millimeter Tanzanite, 17 of those, but the total gem weight here is actually going to be 2.8 carats. So you have a nice amount of Tanzanite. The actual measurement, I want to measure this here while it sits on the bust because I know a lot of you, again, if you're trying to figure out where it's going to sit on the neckline, I think it's important that you know the ins and outs on, the actual length of the chain as well as how big the pendant is, because this pendant is a little bit larger, or excuse me, the necklace rather, is a little bit larger than some of the pendants we have. So I will measure this way, and then I'll face it towards you here in just a minute. I want to make sure I get the right measurement here. This is going to be inch, so 1 inch and actually almost 2 inches from top to bottom. So nearly 2 inches from top to bottom, and I'll face it towards you. Left-handed people, I'm telling you, we have a hard time with stuff. Trying to do things so that everybody else gets it. Okay, there it is. So we have a 2 inch from top to bottom look. So it's not small at all. It's pretty big. It's pretty bold. But it's not over the top. The diamond shaped setting is really perfect. The way they put those Tanzanites in there. All right, we're going to keep moving. 2.8 carats. The budget pay option here, it's $99 out the door. The budget pay, I think it's $20. It's a 5-month budget pay if I'm not mistaken. So check that out for more details. Now we do have some quad A grade and AAA grade Tanzanites coming up. I know some of you are curious to know, do we have any graded Tanzanite? We do. Please don't go anywhere. Bear with me. I'm going to move through. I'm already an hour. I have about an hour and 10 minutes left in the show, and trust me, it's going to go by quickly. It goes by fast. So we are going to get into some of those AAA and quad A grade Tanzanites, which are the deepest, the darkest, the most valuable of all Tanzanites on planet Earth. Those will be coming up. But first things first. So I am obsessed with hoops, and I asked Stephanie, who is our coordinator, along with DJ and Lauren, who's behind the scenes assisting with this. I asked her, let's bring in some hoops, please. I am obsessed with hoops, and as I mentioned several minutes ago, I talked about wearing large, big door knocker hoops. I love texture, I love shape, I love bold hoops. And so I said, Stephanie, find me the biggest and boldest Tanzanite hoops you can find. And she did. She nailed it. She hit it on the head. I cannot believe the price of these hoops, people. These are only going to cost you $167.99. They are inside-out style. So not only do you have the Tanzanites on the outside, you have the Tanzanites running along the inside. And I'm going to show you here the actual closure, because the way they've designed the closure on this, first of all, the hoop has a hinge on the bottom, so you see the way it opens up all the way. You're not going to have any issues putting that hoop on, and that's important. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've dealt with certain style hoops. Just trust me, I've some of them they don't work well. They're just not designed right. And so, especially when they put gemstones in the setting, sometimes that style of hoop may not necessarily fit. It sits wonky on the ear. You're not going to have to be concerned about that at all. You have a trigger here on the back. This is something that opens up the hoop, regular post, hinge on the bottom. You can see the way those Tanzanites are perfectly set on the inside. You're literally going to put this into the piercing, bring it back. And one of the things that I love about this trigger is that you can literally feel it fall into place. It snaps right into place, and they're held upright, and you just have this perfect, Tanzanite hoop that's really going to stand out. And I think these will probably be something that you wear 24/7. I mean, these are that pretty. Almost 5-star review. I think we're right at 4.5. Either way, your budget pay option is $42. If you know somebody who loves hoops, trust me, these are going to be perfect for them. Let's talk about carat weight. So we're talking 6.35 carats total gem weight, which means you have just over 3 carats of Tanzanite in each year. That's a big deal. The number of Tanzanites here, you have 28 Tanzanites. They're 4x3 millimeter. The 2 largest, which are right in the middle of the hoop, those are going to be, we're talking just under a half carat a piece, 96 points to be exact between the 2 large ones. And you see what I'm talking about here in the front? So you have a larger one here in the front that sits in the front to really kind of accentuate the style of the hoop. You've got the halo around it. That halo is zircon. So you have beautiful zircon. Zircons are not to be confused with zirconia. Zirconia actually gets its unique name from white zircon. Zircon is a natural gemstone that's been around since like it's old as dirt. And we all know dirt was in existence when God created the heavens and the earth and all that. So yeah, so this is, zircon has been around for quite some time. It's a natural gemstone that comes in different colors depending on what part of the world it's found. White zircon is something that we use often. So because we manufacture in-house and because we source gemstones, we cut them, we do all that good stuff, we try to use gems that we know can be pricey, but we can get at a really affordable price. And we also, when we're using white gemstones, we want to give you the look of sparkle, diamonds, you know, exotic, classy, and shimmery. And so we find that zircon is actually not only one of the oldest gemstones known to man, but it also has what's called a high refractive index. I know, I'm getting technical. But the refractive index of a gemstone, if it's higher, it has the ability to sparkle. And even if it's a red zircon or a blue zircon or a white zircon, it has the ability when it's cut, faceted, and set into jewelry to sparkle like a diamond. So in some cases we'll use, nowadays we'll use moissanite, we'll use white topaz, we'll use white zircon. Every now and again we might even use cubic zirconia, depending on what style, you know, what the range is in terms of the collection and the price range. So yeah, we do a lot of different stuff, but in this case, we decided to go with natural white zircon in the halo. You're going to get really pretty sparkle. And again, the trigger closure on the back end is an upgraded version of a regular post. Those lock into place. You don't have to worry about them falling forward or sitting, you know, improperly on the ear. You're going to get a really good look. And I'll hold these up like that so you can see just how pretty and how they stand out. But these are so gorgeous. $167, you can't beat it for Tanzanite. DJ, would we happen to have any comparisons on Tanzanite?
Yeah, actually we do. Here, let me grab them real fast.
I think we should look at that because I feel like the stud with the halo could cost you like $99 all by itself, right? I mean, when you're looking around for Tanzanite studs and you have studs that are a half carat a piece, so these are going to be, I would say, at least a 4x3 or 5x3 or 5x4 rather. So you have some, oh, they're 6x4s. Oopsie. They're even larger than I see, I like to under promise and over deliver. I like to be as conservative as possible, right? Because it's always better to get more than less. So we did confirm the larger Tanzanite gemstones there surrounded by white zircon are 6x4 millimeter. That's amazing. You go look for a pair of Tanzanite studs that are 6x4 millimeter. I'm telling you, you're more than likely going to spend $99. You might get them on sale for, you know, $89, but for the most part, just the stud. And I'm being conservative again. I think a lot of you, when you start looking around, you're going to be like, nope, I found them for $129. I found them for, you know, close to this price that you all are selling hoops for. I know. That's the beauty of Shop LC. So that's going to be, yeah, that's only going to cost you $167. And keep in mind, too, we're talking 6.35 carats. All right? If you're interested in that, make sure you are taking advantage of that as quickly as possible. So one of our shoppers, Faith, she says, Faith, shout out to you. Thank you so much for watching. I didn't even see that you came in. We have, who else? Susan is out there. I hope you don't feel like I'm talking to myself. I'm kind of trying to give you as much information as possible so that you know exactly what you're getting during the live. But Faith, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you have a chance to keep watching. Okay, coming up. Now this is for you. Who else is there? McKinney. Hi, McKinney. Good to see you. Welcome to the Shop LC Live. So listen to this. We have the most adorable, fancy trillium cut Tanzanite gemstone. This is a ring. You get two. Both are a half carat apiece. This is the perfect ring to get your granddaughters, your daughters, your nieces. If you're wanting to celebrate a friend or a family member, remember what Tanzanite represents. I mean, we're talking about a celebrational gemstone, new life, new beginnings. So maybe you have a good friend of yours or a family member who's just given birth to a child or about to. This will be a really great gift to give to them as a celebration of that. Now, what I'm noticing, DJ, is that chrome dioxide on the outside?
Let's see.
That's a big deal. I'm seeing a green gemstone there. Savarite garnet. You're kidding me right now. So those of you that know your gemstones, even if you know gemstones, you may not know Savarite garnet is a real thing. Savarite garnet, ladies and gentlemen, is a green garnet that I didn't even know existed. Back in the day, you know, when I was buying jewelry for my mom outside of Shop LC before we launched the network, she's a January baby, and so I swore up and down that garnets were only red until I started, you know, working for Shop LC, and then come to discover that garnets come in a lot of rare and exotic colors, which is insane. Who knew? You have Savarite garnet, you have demantoid garnet, you have spessartite garnet. I mean, there's so many different garnets, but the green garnets are Savarite and demantoid. This one has two Savarite garnets that are perfection. That's going to be 1.5 millimeter, actually 1.5 points rather, of Savarite garnet. And I love the way they put the two trillium cuts alongside of each other. I mean, this is a really pretty ring. And the price point here is $69.99. So if you're interested in getting somebody a gift, this is the perfect way to do it. It's not too big, it's not too small, it's just the right size. And I'm loving the fact that you have fancy trillium cuts. Trillium cuts are very expensive. In fact, when Tanzanite was put out in 1967 by that company with the blue box store, the first cut was the trillium. And let me tell you something, thousands upon thousands of dollars people are spending on these fancier cut Tanzanites. So if you're interested, this one's only $69.99. We do have the budget pay activated at $14 per month, which is nice. Shout out to, let's see, Wick Diva. She says, late to the party. Are you kidding me? Better late than never, right? This is the party continues the entire time. Thank you for joining us. Let's see who else is out there. I thought I saw my mom's name earlier. She was watching last time I was on the Facebook Live. Invite your mom, invite your sister, invite everybody to these live shows because they're so much different than the live show. I mean, you can literally, as you're watching, if you're streaming live on Facebook or Instagram, don't forget to like us, share the page, and shoot me a quick text message. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know your first name. Sometimes with the social media handles, they can be a little unique, and so I'll try to read them, but I may not necessarily know your first name. If you don't mind, shoot me your first name. I'd love to address all of you that are watching by your first names. But thank you again so much for tuning in. I know that you have so many options when you're shopping. I want to make sure you're locked in. And we're going to keep moving. $69.99. We'll keep it hot. We'll keep it fresh so that you get different styles, different designs. We are going to get into our second hour, and this is it. Final countdown.
Tina on Facebook sent hello.
Who's that?
Tina on Facebook.
Hi, Tina. Good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tina, let me know if there's anything specific you want to see when it comes to Tanzanite, because I've got a lot of stuff here, and I'm trying to get through as much as possible. Maybe there's a price point that you all are looking for. Perhaps it's Tanzanite bracelets. We have all of that coming up. Ooh, one of my favorites is coming up right now. This one right here, if you've been eyeing it. Ay, ay, ay. So let me show this to you. This is a cocktail cluster, all vermeil, yellow gold over sterling, no two-tone finish. If you're a big fan of yellow gold, are you kidding me? That's stunning. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a medallion. Instead of it just being a regular pendant, this is more of a medallion style. It really is stunning. So this features some of the largest Tanzanites we've had the entire show. Seriously. You have 4.65 carats of Tanzanite. You get a 20-inch chain. The 20-inch chain is going to be 925 sterling silver. This one here is upgraded, so instead of it being 18 inches, it's 20. And the clasp on this one is giant. It's epic. It's a lobster claw clasp. The pendant from top to bottom, I think that's going to probably measure at about 1.5 inches at least. I will double check on the measurement, but let me hold it up. Look at this. Look at this. Isn't that stunning? If you're a yellow gold lover, now for me, yellow gold has kind of been my new obsession, that and rose gold. For many years, I wore a lot more sterling silver, silver tone. I'm not even going to say white gold because white gold tends to be a bit more expensive. A lot of times depending on the piece, if I use budget pay, I might get a few of our Luxoro pieces. I might splurge. I always tell people splurge at least one time on our Ileana or our Rhapsody because it's a nice way to upgrade. It is a little more expensive compared to some of the other pieces here at Shop LC, but at the same time, what you're getting for the money, you would spend tens of thousands of dollars more on those pieces. So I say that to say that since we have started manufacturing more the Vermeil yellow gold and Vermeil rose gold pieces, I've been purchasing a lot more of that than anything else. And I just feel like yellow gold is so strong. It's so rich. It's such a, it just has a presence to it. And typically when we buy yellow gold, it tends to be pretty expensive. And so instead of having to settle, and I'm only speaking for myself, I've had to settle for gold tone over the years because of how much more affordable gold tone is rather than buying, something that's, yellow gold. Instead of having to settle for the gold tone, and nothing wrong with it, I have quite a few in my collection, now you're able to upgrade. The Vermeil yellow gold over sterling silver pieces they're perfect. They really are. So on the back end, you can see that that's precious metal. That's nickel-free 925 sterling silver. Gem for Jewelry just joined. Hi, Gem for Jewelry. Good to see you out there. So that is the entire outside of the pendant, as I mentioned, is all finished in that Vermeil yellow gold process. Even in the bail, you have all that Vermeil yellow gold over sterling. So you can see the detail here and how all the gemstones are perfectly matched. I love the kind of abstract heart design that you have on the bail. The bail from top to bottom, beautifully polished, but look at that yellow gold and how much they added on that. I love our Vermeil yellow gold over sterling silver designs. They really are stunning. So this one, from top to bottom, is 1 inch, almost, not quite, but almost 1.5 inches. And I'll face it towards you because I like to show this to you. If you go to our website, you'll be able to see it much better on our website or on the social media platforms. Don't forget to click on the items so you can see it. You can zoom into some of these items. This is beautifully done. Do you see the artwork too around the setting and how the gemstones are not just placed in the prongs? They've kind of created, again, that filigree, that artwork that you don't always see. And when you do, you tend to pay quite a bit of money for that kind of artwork. That's only going to cost you $94.39. Shout out to Crystal. Crystal, how are you? Welcome to our Facebook Live here at Shop LC. Thank you for joining in. Yeah, this is a good one. So what's the budget pay on this one, guys? We have a budget pay option, of course. $23.60. Thank you, DJ. And thank you, Lauren. So yeah, that's going to be available. And remember, when you look back at some of the items that we started off with, we have quite a bit of Vermeil yellow gold over sterling that's available. We did a pretty ring. We actually featured this one. That was in the shape of a pear cut. That was one of our first pieces. We had a two-tone ring. That one there. We also did the cross pendant. So all these pieces that I'm showing you actually have Vermeil yellow gold finishes. It would be nice to be able to kind of pair those up with some of the pieces that maybe you were considering getting. And don't forget, budget pay is there. So everybody qualifies for budget pay. Take advantage of it. With that said, our next and I think final cluster. I don't believe we have any other clusters. 1, 2, no, this is it. This is going to be the last of the cocktail designs. This is a 4.1 carat Vermeil yellow gold over sterling silver cocktail ring. It has a lot of carat weight. And this, the gram weight is significant here. This one, I believe, is probably one of our largest. The one that we featured with the two-tone is longer, but this one that we're doing now for $94 has more of a round shape. Oval is what I would consider this to be. 5-star rated, 4.1 carats. We only have it in 2 sizes, so it is on super sale. $94.39. Let's talk gemstones, and then let's put this next to the pendant we just had, because this matches perfectly with the pendant. There's the pendant, there's your ring. These are perfect pieces. Shout out to who just joined us. So Casey, Mean Casey, is hanging out with us. I love these handle names. Let's see. Natalie is hanging out with us. Hey, Natalie. And Janet is also hanging out with us. What's up, ladies? Thank you so much for tuning into the Facebook Live, the Instagram Live. We appreciate you tuning in. Right now, I'm just kind of mixing and matching some of these pieces we've aired throughout the show just to give you an idea of what goes with what. Obviously, it's up to you. You let your creative juices flow. You can wear whatever you want. You know, mix and match, create your own style, your own look. That's the beautiful thing about Shop LC. But this is a big one. This is actually about this. Look at this. It's about the same size as the pendant. I mean, that is giant. And you may not necessarily wear it all the time, or, you know, you might, because during the wintertime, again, we're going to layer turtlenecks, cowl necks, mock necks, cardigans, sweaters, scarves, hats, everything. And so it's nice to be able to wear jewelry that stands out. This will definitely do that. We're talking Tanzanite. You know what I haven't mentioned too during the show? If you were curious to know what Tanzanite represents in terms of birth months, this is December's birthstone. So if you have a friend or a family member that celebrates a birthday in the month of December, this is the perfect gemstone to get them. They're not expecting this, trust me. Most people that have a birthday in December know or actually think that they'd never be able to get their birthstone because of how expensive it is. Ta-da! So you have 2.58 carats in some ovals that are 4x3 millimeter. So really nice size ovals in here. You also have 5 additional pear cuts, so a nice combination of different cuts, 69 points. As we continue to go down, we have, let's see, other sizes here. So we have 3 millimeter Tanzanites. We have 4x2 millimeter Tanzanites. This is a nice one. This one actually features different cuts. So it's not just about the oval. You have round cut, you have pear cut, you have tons of carat weight is the bottom line. I mean, if you're interested in that big, that bold, that beautiful look, and you're a big fan of yellow gold, or maybe you don't have any. Maybe the yellow gold you're going with for the very first time. This is a nice way to do it. Seriously. Because yellow gold, if you purchase a solid 14K yellow gold ring that had Tanzanite in the setting, it's going to be significantly higher in terms of the price, which is fine. We have them here at Shop LC. But the beauty of shopping with us where we manufacture, we have a chance to give you that 14K yellow gold overlay, the vermeil process. Remember, vermeil is a lot more gold. I want more gold if at all possible. And in order to consider anything vermeil, it has to have 120 layers of, yellow gold, 2.5 microns of gold, technical term. We go, I think, if I'm not mistaken, we're actually at 5 microns. So the machine that is a part of the overlay process in this technique starts at 5 microns. So we're talking about a lot of gold in your overlay process, which makes a difference. I mean, vermeil pieces tend to be much more expensive because you have more gold. And I don't know about you, I love a lot of gold. Give me more gold, and I don't want to pay for it. That's exactly what we do. All right, so with that said, $23.60 per month is the budget pay option. If you're interested, come on in. Don't forget, don't just watch the show. Make sure you're clicking on the link if you're on TikTok, or if you're interested in any of the items on Facebook or Instagram. The number is going to be, the word sold, and then the number for that one?
112.
112. We're on a roll. We're on a roll.
By the way, Sharon on Facebook says hi.
Hi, Sharon. Good to see you. I am so glad that you're watching. Let me see who else joins us. This is the live. It says Hutchinson has joined us. Co Mom is out there. Coda Catchum. I'm sorry, I don't have your first names. I just see you tuning in, but I want to give you a shout out. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. Okay, so we have next. We're going up. We're going up in carat weight with the solitaire. Excuse me. We have 1.4 carats of green Tanzanite. Now, I'll be completely honest with you. I did not expect to see any green Tanzanite in this show. Very rarely do we get to feature green Tanzanite. Green Tanzanite is a natural color of Tanzanite that comes out of the ground every blue moon. When they're mining for Tanzanite, which by the way, they are really not mining at all right now. They've closed the mines and all kinds of political stuff is happening in Tanzania. So they really have this wall around the Tanzanite area. It's become pretty scarce. But when they were mining out of the rough that they were finding in Tanzania, a small percentage of that rough comes out this color. Okay, because with Tanzanite, you have what they call the blue zoisite, but the green color is more of like this army green, this rich green. So this one, shout out to Big Joe. Thank you so much for watching. Hutchinson also joining us. This one is going to be 1.4 carats. And in just a moment, I'll go ahead and give you the measurement on the center stone because I think that's important. Millimeter size on that center gemstone, ladies and gentlemen. This is an oval. You have a 1.25 carat. 1.25 carat. So gentlemen, if you want to impress your sweetie pies, I would suggest going up in carat weight and getting your hands on one of the rarest colors of Tanzanite you can find. This is it. So the carat weight is 1.25 carats, but I want to make sure I give you the measurement. 8x6. Oh, that's a big one. So this is a big one. It's only going to cost you $214.39. This one is in platinum over sterling. And the reason for the higher price point is because of the rarity in the color and then also the size of the gemstone, right? Throughout the show, we've been featuring quite a few that are cocktail, they're clusters, they're smaller gemstones. This is an 8x6 millimeter. An 8x6 millimeter in the world of Tanzanite is huge. It's also in platinum over sterling. This one has diamonds, so you have 12 diamonds in total, 6 points, really big deal. We wanted to make sure we have pieces that are not just in vermeil or platinum over sterling, but also pieces that are in those settings that have diamonds in them too, right? I mean, we don't... Listen, if it's in gold, again, the price goes up significantly, but if we can keep the cost low and do it in platinum over sterling, give you some of the rarest colors these gemstones come in, some of the largest sizes, and then throw in diamonds, I think you're good to go. Diamonds add beauty, diamonds add value, diamonds usually add more to the cost, how much you're going to end up spending on the piece. Here at Shop LC, 1.4 carats with the Tanzanite in the center, 8x6 millimeter. It is a 1.25 carat in that green Tanzanite, $214.39. The budget pay option I'll give you here in just a moment. Everybody qualifies for budget pay. $42.88 is the budget pay option, okay? I just want to make sure I give you all of that. I'm going to move some of the items to the side so that if you're interested... So the ones on this side are going to be the items I've already aired. We're moving pretty quickly, DJ. I don't know that we'll be able to get through everything, but I know we're going to start getting into some of the higher end luxury Tanzanite pieces, and I want to make sure you know that we are discounting those pieces. So again, we did the cross. We featured the dangle style earrings. We had some cocktail designs, inside out hoops. We also had the green Tanzanite. We're going to do some bracelets here now. We did feature the cluster cocktail pendant with ring. And then we also did the necklace. We haven't done these necklaces just yet. I'm not too sure if we'll have the chance to do all of these pieces. Let me see what we have here, DJ. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
We should have 11
8,
items
9,
left.
10. Okay, good. So we might be able to move through 11 items in 45 minutes. I think that's a good thing. All right, let's get into some bracelets. And let me see who else is out there. Did we say hi to Gigi in North Carolina?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so North Carolina's hanging out with us. Ravik is hanging out with us. Hi, Ravik. I hope I said your name properly. The thing is, when I see, people join the Facebook Lives, obviously, when you're in a live show, you only see the handles. So I'm trying to give everybody a shout out. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I'm Jessica Maldonado. Let's go. We're going to bring in bracelets now. Oh my gosh, I love this one. So the two green Tanzanite pieces we have here, this bracelet is one that has a lobster claw clasp, and it features 3.9 carats of green Tanzanite as well as white zircon. I am a huge fan of this design. In fact, I'm thinking back to the live shows, because I typically host on the TV live shows, right? Every now and again I get to do one of these social media lives. I don't remember ever airing this one. I mean, this is stunning. So you have trillion cut, marquee cut, trillion cut, marquee cut. Let me see if I can bring it in this direction so that you could see it, because I really want you to see how pretty that halo is. So around every trillion and marquee cut, you have these beautiful zircons that surround the gemstones. You also have the vermeil yellow gold over sterling silver finish. I want to double check here. You have a bit of extension, but it's not designed. So they put a little more gold in here. The jump rings that are on here, so you only have one ring at the bottom. And do we have different lengths here, DJ, or just one?
We just have the one.
Okay, so this one is 7 1/4 inch. The 7 1/4 inch, I'm going to double check here. Yep, we're right at 7 1/4. Now here's what I want to suggest you do if 7 1/4 is too short. I always recommend that you put an extender on the end of a chain, a bracelet, or even an anklet. If you need more wiggle room, we always have extenders on our website that are done in precious metal. They're 925 sterling silver. We have different styles of extenders that you can connect to the ends of your bracelet. So you may want to consider getting one of those if 7 1/4 isn't long enough. But this one is 7 1/4. 7 1/4 tends to work well for a lot of people. My wrist size is, not that it matters, but if you're wondering, because of how it fits me, my wrist size is about a 6 1/2 to 6 3/4 if I wanted to wear something that is pretty exact around my wrist. But I do usually go up to 7 1/4 because I like for it to move around and give me a little wiggle room. This is a 5-star rated. When you see this, you're going to go absolutely bananas. The color on here is everything. This green color is like money. Like money. The color of a dollar bill, that's exactly what you get from green Tanzanite. $159.99 with the budget pay option. $32, people. Shout out to Maureen. Maureen has just joined us. Who else is there? Rim Space has just joined us. A lot of people hanging out with us today. Happy Tuesday. Thank you all so much for stopping by. So yeah, this is designed with a lobster claw instead of the box closure. Sometimes we do bracelets with the box closure. Sometimes we do them with the lobster. The reason why we decided to go lobster on this one is more than likely so that you can put an extender on the end of it. If we only made it in a 7 1/4 inch, then we want to give you the flexibility to either buy an extender from our website or take it to a jeweler and they can add just a little ring on the end of it to extend the length if you needed more wiggle room, okay? So that's available. $32 per month. This is one I highly recommend, seriously. This is stunning. And although the ring is in platinum over sterling, it still looks good with the bracelet. Actually, the color of the Tanzanites in the bracelet are a lot darker than the ring. I mean, well, they're spot on. Let me show you both of them side by side. And that's the cool thing about gemstones, right? The color saturation. Some can be a little lighter, some can be a little darker, but either way, they coordinate beautifully. The ring is larger at an 8x6. The gemstones in the bracelet are, let me see, your marquee cuts are, do we have millimeter size? Let's see. Doesn't give me any millimeter size. Let me double check for you. 5 by 2.5 millimeter. And then you have, what's the other one? 4 by 2? So I see 5 by 2. And then
I think that was it actually, yeah.
So these are going to be 5 by 2. So I think the 5 by 2 is your marquee cut. Usually the trillion cuts, these look to be, and I'll double check right now. I'll get you millimeter size. Okay, so you're right at about a 4 millimeter in the trillionths. Okay, so the trillion cut is a 4 millimeter, and then you have the marquee cut. We said those are 5x2. So you've got more of an elongated shape and design in there. Head to our website if you're going to get that. Make sure you use, all the information that we gave you here. Real quick, I'm just going to step to the side. If you are new to Shop LC, we want to welcome you to the show and thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. Keep in mind, if you're watching on Instagram or TikTok, if you're interested in any of the pieces, you want to put the word sold and then the number that's associated with it. The number that we just had was 108?
14.
Good night. I'm so off today. So 114 is the item number on the trillion cut green Tanzanite bracelet we just featured, okay? 114. If you're on TikTok, TikTok tends to be a little bit different in terms of the format. The item link is going to show up at the bottom as you're watching the show. You can click on that. That's going to take you to the item. And then, of course, if you're shopping on our website, sometimes the easiest way to shop, shoplc.com. The live stream will come up on the bottom. You'll click on that and you'll be able to see all the items, Now, speaking of all the items, I kicked off the show with something very similar to this around my neckline. This is a huge deal. Look at that. That's 9.5 carats. Now, I'm not too sure if my camera's even able to focus on this beauty.
It's not too bad.
Not too bad? It's not too bad. 9.5 carats of Tanzanite in platinum over sterling. Up for grabs for, you ready? $197. Huge. Less than $200 for all of this Tanzanite? I would say this is our biggest value of the show so far. Biggest value of the show for sure. Because what you have here is nearly 10 carats of all Tanzanite. Notice I didn't say zircon, I didn't say any other gemstone but Tanzanite. This one has an extender on the back end, so you will be able to adjust as needed. This is you out on the town, date night, you're going to a show, you're heading to a concert, you've got a Christmas party, some sort of holiday get-together. You better believe you're going to be showing up with your Tanzanite necklace. And hopefully taking pictures and giving us a shout-out when you're wearing your Shop LC pieces. Don't forget to tag us when you're rocking your Shop LC jewelry so that everybody knows where you got your pieces from. I mean, if you love your family, you won't hold this information back. I always tell people that. I'm like, well, did you tell them where you got it? And they're like, oh, I forgot. Well, some people will be like, where'd you get it? You know how some people are. They're very straightforward. And you're like, oh, okay, let me, I guess I'll give that to you. But this is one of those necklaces. The way that it sits, hold on, let me make sure everything's straightened out. So you have the extender on the back end. As I mentioned, with necklaces, it's really important to have that perfect size extender. The extender is going to have you bring that all the way up, but look at the shape of the setting. The shape of the setting is literally a U shape with a drop design. Ladies and gentlemen, the drop design all by itself would be perfect. I mean, we can easily take apart the entire necklace and just do the middle of the necklace, and that would be perfect. But instead, our design team is like, no, we'll put more Tanzanites, the more the merrier. And I'm telling you what, for the holiday season, I feel like the holiday season is where we bring out our best, right? Sometimes we get that really pretty, classy dress that we wouldn't necessarily wear on a regular basis, but since it is holiday, I mean, you're going all out, a little more shimmer, something that's, fitted on the body, something that's long, a pair of high heels. I can imagine this on your neckline while you go to the holiday party or a family get-together. But let me do this. I want to give you some details. It is 18 inches, but you can take it down to 20. So when you connect it on the end here and you use the one furthest down, all you're doing is kind of readjusting the necklace so that it sits properly. With the extender, you'll see the way it drops down and then it comes back up. But you have every single ring here. These are jump rings. You can connect the lobster claw clasp to because of the way they designed it. They wanted to make sure you had a chance to, just adjust as needed. So the largest one, get this, the largest Tanzanite in that dangle, the way that it hangs, that is a nearly 3/4 of a carat Tanzanite. 3/4 of a carat Tanzanite. So that's 71 points right there in the middle. I also wanted to show you the fluidness of the necklace. You see the way it kind of bends back and forth? You have that movement. So the necklace is not going to be stiff on the neckline, and that to me that makes a difference for me. I can't tell you how many times I've purchased like a little costume jewelry necklace that I put around my neckline, and it was just straight across, and it didn't necessarily sit nicely around the neckline. So you have the movement in the necklace, so when you wrap it around, it's going to sit perfectly. Okay, $197. We are going to keep moving. Let me share this with you real quick before we move. 37 marquee cut gemstones, just over 9 carats. This one is only costing you under $200. Use the budget pay option because you have a lot of carat weight for a little bit of money. That's worth it. One of my favorite pieces of the show. In fact, if I do a recap, that'll be the one that I talk about. That is gorgeous. When you see that in person, you won't regret it at all. I mean, that is really artwork, perfection for the neckline. With that said, we're going to move on to the bracelet with the octagon cuts. You know, it's really cool to be able to do a show like this where we feature one gemstone, all Tanzanite, because we don't always have availability in the Tanzanite bracelets. Tanzanite bracelets tend to be a lot more expensive and hard to manufacture these days because of how much Tanzanite you need. And especially in bracelets, we want larger gemstones. We don't like to put smaller stones. We want your gemstones to be as large as possible. And so in this case, you have step cut faceted octagon cut Tanzanite. Perfection. Perfection. So this is 8.25 carats, but the good news is in this style of bracelet, remember the last one we had the 7 1/4, and I had mentioned you're not able to adjust it, but you can always get an extender. This one is designed in a 6 1/2, 7 1/4, and an 8-inch. So depending on the length of your wrist, you get to choose the one that's going to work the best for you. And I love that. I love a custom size. I can't tell you how many times I've tried on even bangles or different style bracelets that swim on me. You know, for some of us, we can't even get, you know, their bracelets are either too big, too small, or not right. In this case, because of the manufacturing we do in-house, if we put a design like this together, we want to make sure we design as many in different lengths as possible. And that's exactly what you're getting here. That is what you're getting. Jewelry Queen, welcome in. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, looks like Shiksha joined us. Hey, Shiksha. Good to see you. So $217.99 is your out-the-door price, $43.60, ladies and gentlemen. That's all you're paying. If you use the budget pay, some of you are like, wait, I thought you said $217. $217.99 is the full price out the door. Here at Shop LC, what we do is we give you the option of budget pay. And you'll hear all of us hosts talk about budget pay because it's free. It's a free in-house payment plan that we activate for all of our shoppers. No credit check, no interest payments. All you have to do is choose the option of budget pay. And we'll charge your card the $43.60 plus any shipping and handling, any taxes that apply. We'll get it out to you and you'll have it in 5 to 7 business days, okay? With that said, I know I've been talking about box closures with double safety catches. This one has it. You literally have the most secure bracelet with the insert tongue and groove box closure, not just a single catch, but you have the 2 latches on either side, one on each side for security. So once you put the bracelet on all the way, ladies and gentlemen, the good news about this design, whether you have the latches on or not, that bracelet is secure. The extra latches are for more security, right? When you're wearing your bracelets, I can't tell how many times I've had this happen to me in the past, not, with Shop LC bracelets, but I've had bracelets that I've lost, that have come apart, that, all of a sudden when you get home after a long day of being out and about, you don't realize it. You look down on your wrist and you're like, what the? And you can't find it. And so this design we've come up with, and not that people don't do box closures with double safety catches. I think the difference between us and them is the fact that you don't have to pay, for the added feature, right? That little bonus is not going to cost you a small fortune to get the double catch. So that's box closure, sterling silver, and these are fancies. Let's talk about the actual cut of this because this is where it gets good. So these are octagon, okay? Octagon cut gemstones are a bit more expensive. The quality of the gemstone has to be done just right because if you think about it, a round brilliant cut gem, believe it or not, The more facets you get around brilliant cut, facets are the way they cut the gemstone on the back end. Around brilliant cut facet is going to be like a kite shape, right? The kite shape. So they go around the gemstone on like a round or an oval, all the way down the girdle, the pavilion, down to the culet, the very tip of the gemstone. Well, what this allows a gemstone cutter to do, believe it or not, is hide blemishes, hide any kind of flaw, inclusion, feather, just by cutting it a certain way so the light can travel through the gemstone and kind of reflect back out and give you maximum sparkle. So that's a trick. Well, with the octagon is more of like a rectangle shape. And so the facets are step cut faceted, right? So it literally is straight across the gemstone on both sides. It exposes the gemstone. So it can be a little tricky. Octagon cuts are, not something you see as often as others because of, the fact that they want to be able to maximize the carat weight. They want to maximize the rough, the Tanzanite rough. Here at Shop LC, we try to do as many cuts as possible so you can really enjoy the beauty of each cut. And this is definitely that. That octagon cut is stunning. Cycle, welcome into you. Cycle is out there. Cycle, I believe, is it Cycle Celiana? Oh, I'm so sorry. But thank you so much for watching. I know that you guys use different handles on your social media, so I like to call out who's watching. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you shopping. So this one is only going to cost you $217.99, and this is luxury. This bracelet should be, I would say, $699 here at Shop LC. $43.60 on budget pay, $217.99 out the door. Yes, 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 we are rocking. Okay, next. I think we have like 8 more to get to, if I'm not mistaken. One more bracelet. We have some of the AAA Quad A grade Tanzanites we're wrapping up the show with, right? We're saving some of the best for last. The deeper, the darker, the more coveted of all the Tanzanites are some of the most expensive. Not here at Shop LC. Obviously, the price will go up, but not too much where it's like, oh my gosh, like you've seen them in your local jewelry stores. This beauty is up for grabs. Let me see, do we have that?
It should be.
I don't see it, guys. I don't believe we have that one. We have this one. This one has the step cut. Right here. Okay, so we're going to get this one out for you. So we are preparing the Luxotto 10K white gold Tanzanite with moissanite. Remember I talked about how oftentimes we'll use zircon, we'll use topaz, we'll feature moissanites every now and again. In some cases we'll do diamonds depending on the collection. This is our Luxotto. Anytime you see the word Luxotto, which is really Lux Gold, oro is the word gold in Spanish, Luxotto is either going to be in 10K or 14K gold, okay? In this case, it's white gold. So your gemstone is an oval, classic oval, and the moissanite is a giant trillion cut. And DJ is actually preparing that for me. He's going to hand that over here in just a moment. But this, if you don't mind, could we see the details? So this is, okay, good. So this is a 9x7 millimeter that you're seeing here on screen. You see the size of that? Let me move this to the side because I want you to see this. You see the size? So that's a 9x7 millimeter. The 9x7 millimeter, I'm trying to get you some carat weight here, 9x7. So 1/4 of a carat in the moissanite. So the Tanzanite is going to be just over like a carat and a half. It's giant actually. So your Tanzanite carat weight is over a carat in that 9x7. You're going to have closer to a 2.5 carat in that stone. But anytime you can get your hands on a Tanzanite that's over a half carat, 3/4 of a carat, 1 carat, 1.5 carat, cha-ching, right? You're ready to take all that money out of your pocket and give it away. Most of us know that it's going to cost a lot of money to get our hands on Tanzanites that size. Well, here at Shop LC, that's the difference. That's the shop low cost difference, right? We're able to upgrade your jewelry box collection without you having to spend a small fortune. So, thank you, DJ. DJ's getting it ready. And it is ready to go. Wait till you see this in just a moment. I'm actually going to bring it up a little bit higher on the bust. And you know what? I'm going to take it off the bust and I'm going to put it on my neckline because I think that's going to give you a better perspective. So Marge is joining us. Hey, Marge, good to see you. Dee is also joining us. Hello to you, Dee. There it is on the neckline. So this is actually a really large Tanzanite. I mean, we're talking about a Tanzanite that is the perfect size oval, 9x7s. 9x7s in terms of carat weight are going to start right around 2 carats. You have the trillion cut. I love the simplicity in this. Now, this one doesn't come with the pendant, or excuse me, the chain rather. This one is just the pendant. We're doing it for $253.49. It is perfection. Right, because if you wanted to go a little bit larger in carat weight with Tanzanite, this is going to be the way to go, unless, of course, you're going to get one of our AAA or Quad A grades. If you wanted it in gold, I love the fact that we included the moissanite. Moissanite is actually one of the priciest gemstones out there right now. It's interesting because moissanite was first discovered by Henry Moissan, and it took Henry Moissan and his team to recreate the moissanite, because what happens is moissanite is found in nature naturally. But the problem is that it's not found in large sizes. And so when something like that happens, people come along and say, you know what, there's got to be a way for us to recreate. So Henry Moissan and his team came up with a patented way to lab create moissanite. After the patent ran out recently, I mean, who knows how long, more than, we're talking like 20 years. But everybody else started coming out with moissanite, and I'm telling you what, if you watch any other home shopping network, moissanite is one of the biggest and most popular bridal gemstones in the market today. There are so many ladies out there that are deciding, you know what, I don't want to spend tons of money on a diamond when I can get my hands on a moissanite. Moissanite has more fire than a diamond. It does. And the refractive index on that, the light dispersion is what you really want to talk about when it comes to moissanite. The clarity, it looks like a D-flawless diamond. It is stunning. And there are a lot of ladies out there that are actually wearing moissanite as their engagement ring or their wedding ring instead of diamonds. It tends to be much more affordable, but at the same time, moissanites are still selling for thousands of dollars. So just know that. You have a trillion cut moissanite up top. The moissanite, the size of this one, do we have the carat weight? I think it's right at, if I'm not mistaken, that moissanite, let me make sure, 1/4 carat. So you're at a 24-point moissanite. This one is $253.49 with the budget pay option. Very affordable, 2.3 carats. And again, just a heads up, FYI, doesn't come with the chain. We're using a chain just to ensure that I'm able to show it to you. So this one, if you wanted to wear another chain that's in your collection, you can easily do that. The bail is large enough for you to put the average size chain through the opening of that. And remember what I was telling you about earlier when I had mentioned that a lot of the pendants that we feature here at Shop LC will come with upgraded chains that are 20 inches. A lot of those upgraded chains will work well with some of the 10K white gold pieces that we have that may not necessarily come with chains. And, for whatever reason, this one doesn't. I think, with the price point being as low as it is, it's the Tanzanite. The Tanzanite is the superstar in this. We're talking about a 9x7 millimeter. It's going to be just over, right at 2 carats is what your Tanzanite is coming in at in terms of carat weight. So that is like hitting the jackpot. A 2 carat Tanzanite for $250? Can't beat it. There it is. And still available while supplies last, obviously. Who else do we have joining us? Let's see. Oh, sold 117. So we're on 117. I got that, DJ. I didn't have to ask you. I saw that when you brought that up. So happy Tuesday. We have, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we have about 5 or 6 pieces to get to, and that'll be it. I'm watching time. We only have 20 minutes left in the show, so I am going to speed up the information that I give you. I don't like necessarily doing that during the live show, but I think it's important that I do it so that you can get as much information as possible, okay? Coming up, now we're getting into more Luxoro. Now, this is a big deal. This one actually features, this is a 10K white gold, 1.05 carat. So the Tanzanite in this one is a 7.5 by 5.5 millimeter. It is a 1 carat. Let me show that to you. A 1 carat. Isn't that beautiful? And then you have the 5 points of diamonds. So the 5 points of diamonds on this, they are baguettes. What's cool about our Luxoro, or what's classy, not cool, more classy than anything, you get the Luxoro authenticity card with your purchase. So if you are presenting this to a loved one, they will get the authenticity guarantee card that gives you all the information of the pieces that you purchase. If you buy any of our Ileana, the Ileanas, the 18K gold pieces come in their own rosewood box. They also usually come with an authenticity card, if not an appraisal. And then the Rhapsody, which is our 950 Platinum collection, comes in a black box, and that usually comes with either an authenticity card or an appraisal. So just a heads up in terms of what we offer and what we send you, right? The luxury collection is, the things that we send home to you. It's pretty exclusive. I think you're going to really love what we end up sending you. And I love surprising people because we don't necessarily always talk about that during the live shows, but when you start getting your packaging home, you're like, oh my gosh, I love this. It's really well made, top-notch quality. This one is 10K white gold, and as I mentioned, the Tanzanite is a 1 carat and the diamonds are 5 points. I love how this one isn't over the top, right? I would consider this ring to be pretty much like an everyday piece of jewelry. I find that pieces like this, some of us like things that are a bit more on the dainty side. I'm not going to say this is small because it's far from small, but it is daintier. And my daughter, especially this new generation, I feel like they're more minimalist than going over the top or being too big. They like their gemstones to be a bit more like on the demure side. It's just simple. And simplicity is everything. Simplicity is something that I feel like a lot of people wear often. It's not that special occasion ring. So this one is $277.99. It is in gold. It's a 925 sterling silver price. The rating on this, through the roof. Make sure you visit our website to check out the ratings. Everybody's talking about how much they love this piece. The color saturation of the Tanzanite is perfect. We have a lot of sizes on our website. From 5 to 5.5. We have a 6. I think we have a 7 and 8 and 8.5. We have quite a few half sizes on our website you might be interested in. So head to our website so you can choose your favorite size, and don't forget to use Budget Pay. Budget Pay is only $55.60, okay? 15 minutes. Okay, we're running. We're moving. Next, and I think that was 118?
Yes.
So that was 118. If you're on the Facebook or Instagram, you're going to put the word sold. 118 is the number for that item. And if you're on TikTok, you can just hit the little link on the bottom that'll give you access. And of course, if you're on our website, shop till you drop. Do what you have to do. I'm telling you, you will love it. You'll love all the stuff we have on our website. We're now getting into, so we're going to do the premium golden Tanzanite. Yes. We recently introduced golden Tanzanite. Golden Tanzanite, like the green Tanzanite, is a very rare, unique color of Tanzanite. And if you're somebody who shops with us in a regular and you've purchased quite a few different Tanzanite pieces, you might be interested in getting something different when it comes to Tanzanite. And I love that we bring forward these designs that you may not necessarily see on a regular basis. You would expect, at least for me in my book, when things are rare, exotic, collectible, and not often seen, I don't know about you, but I always think about high price tags, right? When there's a supply issue, the demand tends to be high, people want it more, and then the price skyrockets. That is not the case with this one. This one is only going to cost you, hold on now, $278.39, $278.39. We only have it in 3 sizes, 7, 9, and 10 are your sizes. But with it being 1.65 carats, you may want to consider getting this one. This is a fancy cushion cut. It's a cushion radiant. And you also have diamonds on this one. I'm pretty excited about this one because diamonds, again, you would expect because of the diamond carat weight, which I'm going to give you here in just a second, for the price to go up significantly. Not the case. So the Tanzanite is 1.5 carats all by itself. It's an 8 by 6 millimeter baguette, or it's more of a cushion. And then you have your taper baguette diamonds. So you have 4 taper baguette diamonds that are 9 points. You also have the 2 round cut diamonds that are a point apiece. And then you have some larger round cuts. So the round cuts are going to be different sizes. They graduate as you work your way, as you work your way down. So They're smaller diamonds at the top, and then they get slightly larger as you work your way down the shoulder. But take a closer look at these pieces. Again, during a live show, it's a bit more challenging to show you the detail and the designs here. We have it up on screen so that we can show you a bigger kind of blown up picture. But I think when you go to our website and you see the item on the website, we have different shots of it on the hand. We measure the stone, all that good stuff. You can make a better decision for yourself. But don't miss out on these rare colors. Because again, anything that's golden Tanzanite, green Tanzanite, we have peacock color Tanzanite, which is a cross between blue and green in some cases. All those colors are rare and natural, and it's definitely something you may want to take advantage of. Budget pay on this one is $55.68 for diamonds and golden Tanzanite. And then, of course, we have, let me double check here. Is this the one? Yeah, so I'm not too sure. This one doesn't come with a certificate of authenticity, but the Lux Oro pieces do. So keep in mind, I think we did this one. That was Lux Oro, the 1 carat with the diamonds. That one comes with the certificate of authenticity. And then the 10K white gold 2.3 carat with the moissanite also comes with the certificate of. Most of them do, but I just want to give you a heads up as to what I had out here available. That's the beauty, again, of some of these pieces that you purchase. All the stats, all the details, you'll have that information usually in a card, and that's going to be great just for you to keep for your own reference or resale purposes. Or you could actually, hold on to it so that if for whatever reason you forget what the carat weight is, all that good stuff is on this card. Jimmy, shout out to you. Paul is also joining us. The D-Lo has also joined us. Welcome to you, love. Okay, so we are on the tail end. We only have about 10 minutes left in the show. I'm going to do some Lux Oro. Oh my gosh. Okay, these are the perfect studs. Tanzanite studs. Now, if you ask Jessica, me, what my favorite cut is of gemstone, I will tell you it's an Asher cut. Asher cuts are phenomenal because what you have here is a type of faceting. I've been talking about facets quite a bit during this show, and some of you know what a facet is, some of you don't. Doesn't matter. I mean, basically it's how they cut the gemstone, right? So on the back end of a gem, you're going to facet the gemstone so that you have the light that kind of goes in and out, right? That dispersion of light will go through each of the facets. Well, depending on the cut of the gemstone, your faceting is done differently. You get more flash, more sparkle. It really depends. The bottom line is the Asher cut has so many different facets coming in different directions that you want to talk about sparkle, intensity, fabulousness, if that's a word. The Asher cut does it. And it's one of the most expensive cuts in the market today because not everybody can cut an Asher. And we have some of our best gemstone cutters cutting the Asher cut Tanzanites. Let me tell you something. These have 4.7 out of 5 stars. The reviews are in and everybody loves them for good reason. Now these are them, and you can actually see a little bit of that faceting here, which is what I was referring to, right? With your octagon cut gemstones, we talked about step cut faceting, right? We talked about straight across, straight up and down. Well, you have that in the Asher. But in addition to that, you have facets that come across the gemstone. You have tiny facets on the side of the gemstone. It's ridiculous. If you have an opportunity, I always recommend that people look that up because it's pretty interesting to learn about how some of these, gemstones, the actual cuts come about. The Asher brothers were the first to introduce the Asher cut. They came up with the cut. And since then, very few people have actually perfected it. We have some people on the Shop LC team behind the scenes that have the ability to cut Ashers, and they do the perfect job. These are $344.99, $344.99. The budget pay is $69 for Asher cut gemstones. I'm telling you, in 10K yellow gold, these are perfect. I think I saw the certificate of authenticity. Let me see if these are them, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, the Ashers, let me give you some size. I want to give the millimeter size. If you are allergic to any kind of metal aside from gold, I think this will work well. These are 5 by 5 millimeter Asher cuts. Each one is just under 70 points a piece, so these are not small at all. And I feel like you're probably going to wear these often. If you're a person, like some people like studs, some people love hoops, some people, it depends on your style. I feel like studs, though, will be something that you wear 24/7. I mean, you won't be able to take these off. And the cool thing is, too, if you're somebody who has your ears pierced on different places, not just the main, a hole in your ear, the earlobe, you go up. This would be a nice second hole stud, too. The 5mm works well with some of the larger earrings maybe dangling, and then you put the Tanzanite on the second piercing. Up to you. It's an option. These are in 10K yellow gold, $344.99. Come on in. I think that's 120. Sold 120 is what you use on Instagram. Hey, listen, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Have you had a chance to like us and share with your friends and family members? Don't forget to like the page on social media. We are live streaming on Facebook and Instagram. We're also live streaming on TikTok. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is a completely different show from the live show. We're in a different studio. You're going to have hosts that hang out with you. And I like this because this is a bit more personal. This gives me an opportunity to actually host the show the way that I used to. Believe it or not, when Shop LC first launched, we were called the Jewelry Channel. And for 8 years, I'd say almost 9, we hosted shows by ourselves. Now we have co-hosts with us, and they love to cut us off. And no, I'm just kidding. But not everybody's trained in the co-host thing, And it's so interesting because I'll keep it real. There are thoughts that you have when you're with a co-host and things that you want to kind of bounce off of each other. But some people just go on and on, which is okay. You make do and you do what you have to do. But at the same time, sometimes I don't have an opportunity to get all my thoughts out and kind of share things with you that I'm thinking about. And so I really appreciate this platform on social media where I have the chance to kind of get all my thoughts out and not rush through things. I mean, now I'm kind of rushing because I have a few more items to get to. But thank you again so much for tuning in. We appreciate you taking the time out to say hello. Don't forget, you can always do that. And you can always watch the replay on these shows through our website, and I'll walk you through that here in just a moment. Okay, the necklace that I wore when I came in, if you were with us since the beginning, first of all, thank you so much for hanging out this long. We know that live streams tend to be about an hour, and so 2 hours is pretty long, but hopefully I've kept you tuned in. If not, maybe you're just now tuning in or tuning back in. $299 for this. As soon as I came in, I had to throw this around my neckline. This one and this one are my 2 favorites. Now, this one is not the same. What was can we look back on this one and you let me know what the carat weight is?
Let's see.
This one is 13.5 carats. That one, what's the carat weight on that? 9.5. 9.5. So that's what I thought. Yeah, thank you so much, Lauren. So that's 9.5. So this one is 9.5. This one was $199. This one is 13.5. So this is a little bit different. They're both just as beautiful, but I'm telling you, this one right here, it's not just about, the detail. Look at the cuts. Look how many gemstones you have. How pretty is that? I mean, again, as we approach the holiday season, sometimes it's nice to be able to put something like this around your neckline where nothing else in your jewelry wardrobe looks like it. And when you show up, I don't care what outfit you're wearing, what color your dress is. Tanzanite is almost like a denim color. It's a blue. So, this is going to go nicely with a lot of very classy outfits. And even if you're dressed down, if, you're wearing a turtleneck, you could put a necklace like this around your neckline with a nice pair of dangle earrings or a pair of studs. You're good to go. $299.99 is all this is costing you. That's it. And this is the kind of stuff that gets me excited about Shop LC. Who in the world, who does necklaces like this? You know what? I'm going to take this, No, I'll leave that one out. Because I know a lot of you are probably trying to decide on whether or not you want to take this one home, or would you rather take this one home? And there is a difference, obviously, with the shape of the necklace versus, also carat weight. So I will put them side by side, so you could see both of them. And then you have to decide, oh, you know what, let me bring the clasp. What I did was right away, this is how I was wearing it around my neckline the entire time with the extender. You're able to bring it up a bit higher. And I know I've been talking about that, but I think it's important that you know that because sometimes with necklaces, they just don't work the way you want them to. Okay, here we go. This is perfect. So This one has more of a U-shaped design, and I will bring them up close. I know I'm kind of far right now. U-shaped design with the drop, the dangle here. This one's going to feature just over 9 carats, 9.5 carats. And then you have this one. This is more of a Y shape, right? It actually wraps around the neckline, and then it comes down. You do have that movement here. You have a cluster in the middle. This one has a curb chain. It's an upgraded curb chain. This one has more of like a Rolo link chain. Both of them have a lot of gram weight, but this one kind of comes up on the neckline a little more than the other does. So you get more coverage with gemstone carat weight than you do on this one. But both of them are just as pretty, right? I mean, it's a tough decision to make. Obviously, this one is more carat weight, 9.5, 13.5, $199, $299. This one has amazing reviews, so does the other one. I'll go ahead and bring them both up so you have a chance to actually see them. And this one, again, back on our website. I aired it a bit earlier, but I wanted you to see the difference because they are similar. In terms of, necklaces that are a bit heavier and have more carat weight, isn't it amazing that I'm not out here saying that these are costing you over $1,000 a piece? It really blows my mind that we have, access. And I'm talking about myself because I have never, until my life here at Shop LC, had the opportunity to purchase gemstone pieces like this, especially with Tanzanite. I mean, even if this were quartz or topaz, right? Gemstones that are a bit more abundant and found in different parts of the world, right? Because Tanzanite is only found one place. I think that's one of the reasons why it's so rare. But this is actually, again, 9.5 carats at $199, 13.5 carats at $299. The budget pay option, 5 months. I mean, we literally have a $60 budget pay option available to you, and that's while supplies last. This is one of our hottest sellers, so keep that in mind. I think I have enough time for one more.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Okay, so we'll do one more before I wrap up the show.
Let's go ahead. Yeah, let's do that.
Tell me, talk to me.
We're going to do our end of show special.
Ooh, end of show special. And I think we got through 20 items, if I'm not mistaken. So the end of show special is going to be our Italian-made sterling silver. Is it the? No, it's going to be the Tanzanite ring.
Tanzanite bracelet in stainless steel.
Oh my gosh, where is that?
Should be there.
I don't think it is.
I remember I grabbed it. That might be. Hold on.
Well, this one.
Let me bring it up for you to see it.
Is it this one? Let me see. Yeah, this feels like steel. This definitely feels like steel.
This one.
Yes! Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that this one was stainless steel. See, one of the things that I love about our stainless steel collection is that, first of all, we have like one of the largest manufacturing facilities of steel in the world. Okay, we decided to invest in that early on because we knew stainless steel was such a popular metal and we were seeing more and more designers incorporate steel into their designs. But also, we knew that with the advanced technology we were already using when we were manufacturing steel, that we can really elevate, steel jewelry, an entirely new level. And this is that. So we have Tanzanite in stainless steel. It has an extender, 6.5 to 8.5 inches. And some of you are wondering, okay, how in the world are you able to, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by, bringing jewelry that a lot of people don't have the chance to? Or how do you take steel and you kind of elevate steel? Well, with the technology that we have, we take certain steps to actually polish the steel in a way that makes the steel, because steel almost has that kind of platinum color, which is good. I love steel because it looks a lot like platinum, but also steel can be a bit heavy, and if you don't have the right technology or the right facility, sometimes you have to go up in size when it comes to steel. Have you noticed that? Like when you buy a steel band, it's really thick. They don't, go all the way in on that steel, and some people like it, some people don't. So with steel, what we've done is we use technology so we can cut steel into certain shapes and sizes and incorporate filigree work and lots of detail. In this case, you have this really pretty kind of fancy cut steel bracelet that has an extender. The extender is going to allow you to take the bracelet from 6.5 to 8.5 inches, and you have 1.3 carats of Tanzanite. So let's talk about real quick how many gemstones are in here, and then I've got to wrap up the live. So the gemstones, you have 8 of them, and they're 4 by 3 millimeters, so they're not small at all, although the price is small. But this is our, what do we call this? Our deal of the day? The
Yes,
deal of
end of show special.
End of show special, if you will. But this is beautifully done. I think you're really going to enjoy the details that I was talking to you about, where the links are uniquely shaped and polished, and you have that fluidity, so you don't have to worry about the bracelet being stiff. The movement is there. It hugs the wrist nicely. And the fact that you have an extender that is practical, right? You're able to use that. You can customize the fit of your bracelet. And this might even work around the ankle. This is a nice size to wear around the ankle. And for the parents out there, or any of you that have younger girls who are maybe in elementary school, junior high, or high school, or even college, this is the perfect bracelet for them. It really is. You can't beat it at $19.99. We have a budget pay option of $6.67 per month. Everybody qualifies for it. Take advantage. I think that's it. That's all we have time for. We're going to be wrapping up the show. And I'm going to say that my favorites during this show, just to kind of do a quick recap, it's going to be the necklaces for sure. Okay, the necklaces, they're all big, bold, beautiful. These 2 are my personal favorites. We did some smaller ones, which were pretty. But this was the 9.5 carat for $199. This is the 13.5 carat for $299. And then, of course, some of the bracelets and the inside-out hoops. Mwah, perfect. Thank you all so much again for watching. I'm Jessica Maldonado. Make sure you tune in same time tomorrow for the live stream here on Shop LC. Mwah.
Perfect. Nice. No, that was a 50-second delay.
Okay.
Mm.